Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are making popcorn on the stove. Hands down, my favorite method. You are going to need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and a 1/4 cup of popcorn seeds and a medium-sized pot with a lid. All right, to start off, I'm going to set the lid off. I'm going to turn my burner to high. And I'm going to use my tablespoon and measure 2 tablespoons of oil directly into the pan. Now I'm going to use dry measuring cup to get 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels. Now we're going to put that lid on and wait. And this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting to hear the very first kernel pop. Once that pops, we're going to start shaking it gently. This might take about a minute. Now, here's what's happening. Inside each tiny little kernel of corn is some water. That water is going to heat up. And what happens when water heats up? Once it boils, it steams. And what does steam do? Steam rises up and it tries to break out of whatever is containing it. Well, that little hull is going to eventually get weak and the steam is going to pop through it. And that's going to cause the starch inside our popcorn kernel to balloon out. And when it does hit the cool air, it will instantly solidify into what we know is that beautiful little puff of popcorn. So I'm listening. There it goes. Okay. Gently back and forth. Okay. I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute, 2 minutes. I don't think it will take longer than that. Now, some people will tell you you can just leave it and let it pop without moving the pan, but that only works if you have a super heavy duty pan. And I don't. These are medium weight pans. Just gently shaking back and forth. Gosh, I wish I had a glass lid so you could see this. It's amazing. And what we're listening for is for the popping to slow. When the popping slows down to just 1 or 2 kernels popping every few seconds, the popcorn is done. But as you can hear, it's noisy. So I can't hear whether or not the popcorn is done. So I don't want to stop shaking. So what I'm going to do is lift and listen. I don't hear anymore. It's done. That only took a minute. All right. So now we're going to open up. Always open a pot lid away from you so the steam doesn't come up in your face. Here we go. Quickly. All that steam pressing against the top. I'm going to dump it into my pan. And then here is this amazing salt I have. It's called popcorn salt, and it is regular salt that has been ground down to a super fine powder. You can buy it like this. It's called popcorn salt. I get mine at Cash and Carry, which is now called Smart Food Service, and it's near the popcorn, and it comes in a red and white container. It goes a really long way, so you just want to do a tiny bit. So I put my thing sideways, and I gently shake, and then it's a flip of the wrist to get that popcorn moving. Centrifugal force. Tiny bit more. It comes out just like pixie dust. Got a taste? Tiny bit more. Super fine. Now, I don't even butter my popcorn because the popcorn is super porous and it has lots of places for this really super fine salt to land. If you do this with regular salt won't stick to the popcorn. It'll fall to the bottom. So you might need to butter it or spray it with some butter spray before you salt. But if you get popcorn salt, you don't need to add all that extra fat to your popcorn. The flavor of the popcorn comes through with a hint of salt and it's such a good snack. This is a whole grain, which means it has all 3 important parts. The hull, which is the bran, the germ, which has all the vitamins in it, and the endosperm, which is the starch in the middle. And that's the white stuff. Delicious snack. Try it at home. Yummy. I'm gonna eat the whole thing.